Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Um, I'd first like to thank my subscribers and viewers for viewing and subscribing to my channel. Um, I just want to thank you guys for viewing the videos that you have been viewing over the last past few weeks. I haven't been able to post as much as possible because I am still healing from surgery. So it's kind of hard for me to get up and downstairs and things. I have to take my time. So thank you. I appreciate it. I see that the numbers are jumping up and everything. So it allows me to continue to keep seeing that someone is getting something out of this. All right. Um, I'm going to let this video be called A Right Way and a Wrong Way of Doing Something. A right way and a wrong way of doing something. Okay. And I always give different examples. I can only give examples based off of my own situations, and I can only give examples based off of what I know. If I don't know about it, I'm not going to talk about it. Y'all should know me. All right. So here we go. Right way and wrong way. The right way of doing something that you know is right, you will reap the harvest and the benefits in it. All right. The wrong way, you're going to get bad karma. It's just plain and simple. All right. Um, and one of the things that I have been talking a lot about is relationships because, I recently had a previous bad relationship. Um, so I tend to give examples from that, and I also talk about friendships because it's very important. So let's give examples from both. All right. The right way to do anything in a friendship, if you and a friend is going through something, and let's just say it's something small as I like to use money, okay, because I believe money should not ruin a friendship. All right. If you borrow something from a friend, try to pay it back. I tend to not want to borrow money from friends because if I can't pay it back, I don't want them to look at me in a different way. That's how I am. All right. I believe in the giving system with my close friends. That's how I do it. If I can't give it, I won't do it. You know, and it has to be a certain amount in order for me to get it back because I'm not going to allow money to come in between our friendship. All right. So the right way to handle that is to allow them to pay it back to you. Okay. Now, if it's a couple hundred and you're in desperate need, try to get some of it back. If you can't get it all back at one time, try to get some of it back. Allow them to pay an installment or something like that, but don't address it to them. Allow them to address it to you. Now, if you're the friend who borrowed the money, don't try to stick your friend. Come to them and talk to them. That's all. That's the best way to do it because you can lose a friend out of that situation. You know what I mean? A lot of people tend to judge you from it. They talk about you. And if you are the friend who borrowed the money, let's just say, for instance, you say you don't have the money and then you show up with a new outfit or, some liquor or you got a new car, but they ain't get their money back yet. They're going to look at you very weird. Okay? So you don't want to go through that. Just be honest. That's your friend, especially if it's your best friend. And I call my best friends my brothers. That's how close my circle is. And if I call you a brother, then you are very close to me. So I'm not going to allow money to be an option in the situation. All right? So that's how you can handle that situation. Good way, bad way. All right? In a relationship, if you are with someone, All right, you guys are living together and everything. It's a right way and a wrong way to end the situation between you two. All right. If you're living together and there's property involved, all right, the right way would be for you guys to divide that property up, and that way no one is getting everything, not one person just getting everything. That is totally wrong. All right, it's totally wrong. If you are in a relationship and you decide that, okay, we're going to split or we're going to break off, separate, divorce, whatever, then there is a right way to do it. You have to be able to part ways and say that I'm going to give up this and you can have that. All right. The wrong way to do it is being selfish and taking that person's stuff while they're not home, or while they go to work or go out or something like that. You just strip the apartment or the house. That's the wrong way to do it. And I guarantee you will not reap any benefits in that situation. You're going to continue to have issues and problems, because 9 times out of 10, if that person has to start over, that other person who had to leave the house or whatever, they're going to make problems, because it's like, why did you do this to me? Why did you, why couldn't we just talk about it or whatever? So it becomes an issue for you and that person. And it's problems on top of problems. Now, you guys already have an issue with the breakup or the separation or the divorce. You know what I mean? And now you have a problem with property too. Okay? I'll give you guys a great example. And this is my experience. This is exactly what happened to me. So, in my first marriage, all right? Me and my first wife. Now, we did not end smooth, but we ended respectfully and we also ended maturely. All right. We had an apartment together, and I moved out maybe a year prior, almost a year prior. All right. And when I did, my things were still there. I still had a key. I can go back whenever I want to, grab something, leave, whatever. So when the time came for us to say, all right, this is it, it's going to be over, we called each other. And instead of, because, there were some things that, she took first and then I took some things. So we just decided that at the end, we're going to call each other. We're going to do this the right way. So when we cleaned out our apartment, she took some stuff. I took some stuff. We actually ended it by actually saying, okay, here is the security deposit. You have half, I have half. Let's just part ways like this. That was a good way of handling it. And I really appreciated the way that we did that maturely. Not everybody is capable of being mature in a situation. Okay? And that's not good. Because what ends up happening in a certain situation like that is, if the other person or the people involved in it is feeling like they're not getting what they want, that can result into violence. It can result into the cops being called. It can result into a mental breakdown, anything. That's stress on top of stress. So that's the good way of handling it is the way that me and my first wife did it. The bad way of handling it is saying that I'm going to take everything and leave you hanging. And then I'm going to see what you going to do. Do you really want that? That's what you have to ask yourself. So that's a good way and a bad way of handling that type of situation. And I say that to say this. Karma is real. It is. And you don't know how you're going to get it. It will come, it will bite you in the butt, and you'll be looking like, what just happened? How did this happen to me? Why did I have to go through this way? Why did they do this to me? How could they say that to me? Okay? It's the right way and the wrong way to do things. But I tell you this, when karma does happen, it will put you in a state of shock and disbelief to the point where you will be losing your mind. Okay? You will lose your mind. Now, how you deal with it will determine your future. I say this all the time. Okay? I tell everybody, I don't think you were ready or that you could ever be ready to fill the shoes that I have filled just in the past 3 years. This was hard. This was like the hardest task that I'll ever go through in life is falling down the stairs and being able to heal and heal properly and doing a lot by myself, not really having a lot of help, at the time that I needed it. So it has been a difficult task for me. And, I look at it like this is karma for everything bad that I ever did. Honestly. If I said something bad to somebody, if I did something wrong to somebody, if I acted a certain way, this is karma. And it just came back real hard on me. It said, hey, Kenton, you deserve this. This is what you're going to get. This is how I feel about this certain situation. And God just said, hey, look, you disobeyed me too many times. So I got to allow you to go through this so that the only person that you have to lean on is me. That's it. I want you to cry out to me. I want you to talk to me when you're frustrated and when you're hurting and when you're by yourself and when you're feeling lonely. I want you to be able to say, what can I do, Lord, to make it right with you? That's it. I believe that that's why all of this happened to me. And I had to really open my eyes and just see it for what it was. It was hard for me to do, but when I started accepting it and, living in it instead of trying to get around it or get over it or get through it, I realized that, hey, this was all about the lesson that I had to learn from everything that I've ever done. And on top of it, he didn't give me one, he gave me 2 girls. You know what I mean? That was a challenge for me to have first off, have a stepdaughter, who was my godchild and became my stepdaughter. That was a challenge within itself, And then he said, okay, now you have her. I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you your biological, you know what I mean? And that's what happened. He also did that. So when I say that, I said, man, I'm in a rude awakening in this situation. Something special is going to come out of it. And you know what? I thank God because even that challenge alone, that karma, that good and bad thing that came out of it, it's a blessing. They definitely challenged me to be a better person. And I thank God for that. But this has definitely been a challenge for me because of the bad way that I handled a lot of things. Good way, bad way. I handled a lot of things in a bad way, and I did not recognize at the time that no good was going to come out of it. You see what happens? Did you hear what I just said about that? Good way, bad way? No good is going to come out of the bad things that you do. It's not going to happen for you. I don't care what way you try to go around it. I don't care how many people you try to hurt. I don't care how much you say that you're done and you're over things and everything. Let me tell you something. If you really are doing things the right way, then God will reward you. He will. Only the righteous will survive in anything. That's it. And that's the way I had to really look at every obstacle that I've had to come up against, every challenge that I've had. I had to look at it like, all right, as long as I continue to keep doing the right thing, anything wrong, it's going to turn around and bite me in the butt. So, another thing is, if you are trying to um, move on, there's a right way and a wrong way of moving on in your life. Okay? When you move on from any type of relationship, friendship, relationship, it could be either one. Okay? Give that person closure by any means necessary. All right? I think I talked about this a couple months ago. I had a friend that died. She just happened to be uh, the first love of my life. And, you know, I'm definitely sending my condolences because I know the family is still grieving over Shakira Whitaker. So big shout out to you, family. Um, but it was weird the way that we had connected again. You know what I mean? And she knew me like a book. I still am mesmerized by how much she knew me, Kenton. You know what I mean? But she knew when something was wrong with me. She knew how to approach me, and it was just incredible the way that she and I reconnected. And everything was totally innocent, because she wanted closure. It wasn't about us so much as just rekindling our friendship, but it was also, I want closure. You know, I remember when we had met up. I could talk about this because it's dear to me right now. But remember, I said right way, wrong way, right? So when we met up, she calls me Lamar. That's how she approaches me. If anybody know me personally, that's my middle name. So she says, Lamar, look at me. Tell me the truth. I want to know everything that happened when you and I was together and our thing and this and that and who this and who that and everything. And I can remember the frustration, but also the sincerity in her eyes that day. Um, and it was just it was real. It was real. And I was just like, wow. And at first, I'm being bashful and I'm being shy and all this. And she like, no, I know you so well. You can't hide it, But when I seen a tear in her eye, I got serious. And not only that, it allowed me to see that this is all she really wanted. And we talked about everything. We let everything out on the table. We left it all there. Um, we were able to really just say, hey, to each other, I'm sorry that everything happened the way that it did. I wish it could have been better. I wish we could have ended better. I wish we could have had a better, future. Everything. It just was incredible. And me not knowing that would be the last conversation and last real conversation that she and I would have prior to her passing. But I was a part of her transition. The right and wrong way in this, okay? The wrong way was years ago when we broke up and the way that I did it, because technically she was one that never really did anything wrong to me. I can honestly say that. The right way was making sure that she had closure before she left this earth. Life is so short, young. And before she left here, I was able to have that conversation with her. A lot of people don't get that. That's a beautiful thing. A lot of people do not get that. You don't get that opportunity. You don't get that chance to say, I'm sorry. I'm going to make it better. We're going to have a better future. We're going to make a right out of this wrong the best way possible. And if you get that opportunity, then do it. Do it. Take that time. If you done somebody wrong, just say it. I don't care what they did to you. I don't care how they made you feel. Just say, listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Even if you ain't the person that's why I say I forgive whatever I have done in anybody's life, because guess what? If I close my eyes today or tomorrow, I want to make sure that I preserve and reserve a spot next to the man who created me. I'm sorry. And some people ain't got that right now because they holding on to so much. Okay? You got to let it go and let God. That's it. Right way, wrong way. It is. That's it. You have to continue to say that to yourself. I went over this illusion in my mind several times after Shakira died, and I'm saying, Lord, why? We had just started talking and communicating again, and then this happened. And then the Lord told me that, why are you crying? What are you worried about? You had closure. You gave her what she needed to hear. She needed to hear it from you. That's it. To even find out that, she loved me. She loved me. That's special. I sympathize and everything with her family, because maybe a lot of loved ones didn't have that last chance with her. And we talked about everything. We talked about some family members. We talked about all the crazy times and everything. But I had a chance to do that with her. And it's always been that way. If I ever had a chance to talk to her, even for a couple minutes, it would always be how's this person, that person, But this time I knew that it was kind of ironic and weird, but really it wasn't weird and it wasn't ironic. It was God working. We just couldn't see it. We didn't know what God was doing, but He was transitioning her. And for me to be a part of that, that was special. That was special. But will you have that opportunity? Will you have the opportunity to make that wrong a right? And I encourage y'all today, I encourage you, in any situation in your life that is wrong, try your best to make it right with that person, those persons, someone, whatever. Especially if it's a loved one. Make it right. Go to that person and make that all right. Just tell them, listen, I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it this way. I didn't mean it, for this to play out the way that it did, but I want to tell you that I'm sorry, so that I know that my conscience is clear. And then work on trying to build a better relationship with that person. That's it. In anything that I have done in my life, I always strive. That's why I don't hold grudges towards anybody. I thank God that I'm not that type of person that hold grudges towards anybody. And I don't judge anybody based off of what someone else told me. I judge that person off of what I know about them. That's it. I can only judge you off of what I know about you. I'm not going to sit here and listen to what somebody else said about you, because that's just not me. But you need to address certain things with your loved one's friend, partner, relationship, spouse, whatever. Address it. Address it. That's that malice that you're keeping in your heart. That's why you're not able to move on. That's why you keep bumping into things while you're trying to get down the road, because you're not allowing yourself to heal from it the proper way. You didn't give someone that closure that they need to transition. Transition does not always have to mean death. It can mean from one thing to another, even in life, moving forward. You holding on to it, being spiteful, is not going to make it any better. You are going to continue to go through that cycle. That's what going through the process is all about. That's what people don't believe. I had to learn that. Like, I'm going to keep going through this process, and I'm going to stay in this process until I am able to get myself out and do it the right way. That's it. You have a right way, you have a wrong way. Continue to do it the wrong way and watch. Bad things will continue. If you do good things, you get blessed. That's it. And if you've done those bad things and you continue to do them, you're building up. You're building up that track record. You're building it up. It's going to be harder and harder to peel that onion back. I'm telling you, it's going to stink. It's going to smell on your hands. You're going to hate it because it's sunk in your system. So now you got that onion smell. Oh, man, it's disgusting. We all love onions sometimes, but we know that they stink too. So just do it. Do it the right way. Clean it up. Okay? There is a right way and a wrong way to do things. All right? I love y'all. I hope that this will resonate to some people. God bless. Preferably, I will definitely be back on very soon. Peace, y'all.